Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are back for another edition of the Refined Roundtable, talking all things pop culture to help you get through the middle of your week. Joined as always by Britt Thorson and Abby Lushai from SeattleRefined.com. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
I'm sorry.
The two reactions.
It's starting to wear on me, guys. I mean, I've been doing pretty good up until now, but we're getting to the point where I'm wondering if this is it for the rest of our lives.
It's not, but it kind of it feels like it, I would say.
Just what is time even?
Felt like an eternity, truly.
Yeah, look, we're all in it together. Everybody's making it through. Everybody wishes they could go outside. But since you can't, we're just going to give you some pop culture stuff, and we're just going to talk about it, and hopefully it'll brighten your day a little bit. Guys, let's start with our first topic. This one, it's hot. It's piping
hot.
It is something right up Abby's alley. As you can see, TMZ reporting. Zayn Malik and Gigi Hadid are having a baby, and according to TMZ, it's a girl.
Wow.
Do we know this for sure? Is this actually confirmed or okay?
No.
Guys.
Neither of them, trust me, I've been regularly checking their Instagrams. Neither has confirmed. This is simply sources. Sources say.
Sources say.
Sources say, so neither confirmed, but TMZ in this article does say that the reason they're like, it's a girl, and Gigi Hadid just recently celebrated her 25th birthday and posted a series of Instagram photos, and apparently the 2 and the 5 on her 25 balloons have blue and pink strings, so TMZ is speculating it was a gender reveal birthday mashup, which is wild.
I mean, props for just killing two birds, one stone.
Yeah, why not? She's 20 weeks, apparently.
So how old are they?
25.
Okay.
I know Gigi's 25. I think Zayn's either 25 or 26. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little bit older than I thought. In my head, it was early 20s, and I was like, what is this is a Kylie Jenner kind of this whole group of friends having babies so early, but at 25's, that's on the fair side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this
that's going to be a
deal?
Beautiful child?
Okay, A of all, great looking kid, 100%.
Yeah.
B of all,
a model.
Is this as big of a deal as it's being made? I understand we're talking about two people who are in the public eye. But when this came out, it was every single site was full Gigi and Zayn coverage.
It was. I think it's because you have the combination of both of them are so truly famous on their own that as a couple, they're pretty much unstoppable. So you've got the One Directioners like me, and then the Kardashian Hadid lovers of the world, all ecstatic over this news, and the fact that they just recently got back together after being apart, so I think it's just kind of that wow factor as well.
Plus we're all in quarantine and have nothing else to do, so any gossip, I think any celebrity news is immediately amplified 500%.
Well, speaking of this story takes on an entire another life here. There's another angle, because Tyler Cameron has shut down claims that he is, in fact, the father of the child. No, according to Tyler Cameron, who did
Instagram Live.
Yeah, on Instagram Live, Tyler did this. Apparently, he was doing drunk quarantine karaoke when the news first came out, and now on Instagram Live, shutting down that he is the father of the child.
I think it's truly bonkers that he's even commenting on it before either of one of the people involved has even confirmed it. That's just insane. I'm I know you're on Instagram Live and things happen in real time, but just scroll past the comments. This is not your time.
Here's where I agree. But one, Tyler lives his life in the public eye. My dude is the greatest Bachelorette contestant of all time, just in terms of presence post show. But two, you might as well get out ahead of it. Like at some point, it's better to just be like, this is completely not true, end the story, than have 28 million headlines on various websites, because again, nobody has anything better to do. So why not just gin up this rumor and see if we can like triangulate their locations? Because that's what would happen. They'd be like, well, actually they were in New York at the same time back in February.
This is a slight tangent, but you just brought me up, and so I'm just gonna say it really quick. Tyler was my number one love. I was so team Tyler on the last season and behind him, and I wanted the best for him and like all of this stuff. And the bigger he becomes and or thinks he becomes on social media and TikTok, the less my love for him is. Like it's slowly going down as I see him lean more and more and more into his 15 minutes. Is anyone else having that? I mean, it really does feel like he was born for this, or he thinks he was born for this like stardom niche. And the content, maybe it's quarantine, maybe it's who he was to begin with. The content he just keeps pumping out of him doing anything. While some of it's funny, part of it is like, this is a runner-up of a bachelorette who's now dated models and is like being an influencer / model himself / it just is too much. I'm over Tyler now.
Is that just because that like when these people leave the bachelorette like bubble and then go out and capitalize, it becomes more or less disingenuous than when they were on the show and they were just some apparently nice guy based on the edit?
Yeah, I guess I'm setting them up for failure for sure in my head, because if I was doing it and I got the opportunity to now have probably all this money and all these deals and all this fame, I probably wouldn't say no to it either. But part of me is kind of hoping that they kind of would go back to a normal life, quote unquote, their lives before. And so when I see them buy in more and more and more to all of these deals, it does feel a little like selling out, which even as I'm saying it out loud, like they're Bachelor contestants. That's what it's literally, it's a machine that you just go through. I think I kind of wanted more from Tyler because I felt so connected to him.
I guess like, I agree. Two things. One, I just feel like if you're like, I think he's in his mid-20s and they're like, hey, here's what we want to do. You get to like be a TV personality sometimes and like a model sometimes, and also go to like a bunch of parties for free and take free vacations. Like you're just going to do it because even if it's 15 minutes, like the stories are worth it. Two of all, I don't disagree with you. Like, I don't care what this dude is really doing post show. There's one reason I'll care. And it's if Tyler ends up with Hannah B, which I'm on the train. I'm conducting it. Like, let's just have them end up together. They seem like they get along great. Like, just try it.
Absolutely.
Same.
No, I totally agree.
Okay, we're going to kind of stay on the same topic because this is one that's interesting. Claire Crowley calling out, as she said, multiple people for doing interviews, creating cameo accounts before the season is even filmed. She says they're doing it for the wrong reasons. And while she said that she was referring to multiple men who had been cast on her season, obviously it's been postponed, the internet believes it's one person, Matt James 919, who is best friends with Tyler Cameron. And the internet was not having it. Matt James is sacred in the internet world, and Claire got shaded pretty heavy for these comments. Does one of you want to give a recap of Matt James 919? Because I consider myself part of Bachelor Nation, and I only peripherally knew about this dude. Abby, you do it, and I'll pull up his Instagram so we can get visual evidence of who this is.
Yeah, so Matt James 919 is Tyler Cameron's best friend. They are roommates in New York, and they're part of the quarantine crew together at the moment in Florida. Basically, like when Tyler was on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, Matt James low-key blew up with him. Like Tyler's fame obviously like surpassed and went to like the millions, but Matt James 919 came out of Hannah B's season with 40,000 Instagram followers for basically just eating cookies and running with Tyler through New York City. And now he's cast on Claire Crowley's season, and it's fairly obvious that the reason he's on it, and the whole point is because he's best friends with Tyler. There's just no other reason why.
This is Matt. I'm sharing my screen with you guys. So there's Matt James 919.
Yeah, they do ABC food tours together. And he recently did an interview about that, and I think that he has a Cameo account for like raising money for COVID relief. So it's like that was kind of his. He went on Instagram and he did like a word Instagram story where he kind of said that. He was like, I did an interview about my food tours and I have a Cameo to raise money. And that's the only reason why. And that's another reason fans believe that her tweets were about him. It's because he responded technically.
Here's my bigger issue when we look at this. Claire is the first bachelor or bachelorette who's had the benefit of being able to like go down the Instagram rabbit hole on every single person who was cast on the season
and watch their every move.
And this dude, by all accounts, is like running a charity, is raising money. Yeah, he's definitely out there on social media, but like to take a shot and say he's not there for the right reasons seems like kind of calling the kettle black. Like everybody's there because they're wanting their 15 minutes.
Partly for, of course you want love, but of course you want that, you know, what comes with it, even if you don't win. And I also think it's a little weird because it's everything that he's been doing for like the last year and a half since Hannah's season. Like he hasn't changed his behavior. Like that's just what he's been doing. He's been doing interviews. He's been on social media. So I think it's just a little odd to kind of call him out now when like that's just what he's just doing what he's been doing.
And I mean, it's not like Claire is just like has been on one, you know, part of this franchise and then became the Bachelorette. Like she's done multiple different shows. Yeah. She's clearly like been part of this Bachelor Nation. So it's like to say somebody's not there for the right reasons. It's like, look, the right reasons now are like maybe you find love and maybe you become famous on Instagram. Like the game has changed. I worry that she has turned fans off based on the comments that she's made. But me personally, I think they need to recast probably the entire season.
Yeah. I think it's a really good point that you guys. I think it's a really good point that you guys made, where it's like if any other. I mean, yes, it's almost. It's painting Claire in probably not a great light because of these comments, but at the same time, if this was any other Bachelor or Bachelorette and they were given essentially the homework of like being able to go down the rabbit hole of any of their contestants, I mean, they would find a couple, probably the majority of in every season of the influencers. I mean, we all see those little lines up on the screen. This person is an influencer. This person is a model. This person is a part-time, blogger. Like a blogger. Exactly. I mean, these people exist in every single season. So the fact that they just get to know it ahead of time, it's almost like, stalking your the person you're going to go on a first date with before you even meet them.
It's like she's taking an open book exam. Like, I'm like, you basically going to go into your season with like a note card of like all these people and all this background information. That's just absolutely like not fair to anybody else who's ever been on the show. It would just be wild.
Also, it's no different than like when Hannah G went on the show, she had like 1 million followers on Instagram. When Hannah Ann went on the show, she had a couple 100,000. It's no different. Claire just gets to know it in advance.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, the guy's doing charitable work and raising money for a good cause. And if like he's making a little money on the side, by all means, do it, because it seems like the majority of the work he's doing is positive. All right. Yeah. We're going to move on from the Bachelor Nation orbit and just talk about some people who might be fun hangs. Like this just looks like fun. Like I want to go and be a part of this Zoom launch. It's Meryl Streep, Christine Baranski, and Audra McDonald. And as you can see right here in the photo on page 6, they're just enjoying a lunch of the liquid variety.
A boozy lunch. I relate so heavily with Christine Baranski right there in her glass of red wine. That looks like me on most days during quarantine.
Shout out to Meryl, who had like the full shaker and was clearly just like making a martini. Like
this is like stars during quarantine. I think one of the reasons, because this is what, the 5th or 6th or 7th essentially stars drinking video that's gone viral and people are loving it. And I think it's just, first of all, the relatability is huge, but it also is a real life, you know, that page in Us Weekly magazine where it's like stars, they're just like us. It literally is like a real life stars, they're just like us right now, because they are, yes, it's a much bigger house than all of ours, many more pools and all that stuff, but they too are just inside, and it's probably the closest they've been to like a quote unquote normal person. They're having to watch the same Netflix, they're watching the same Hulu, they're stuck inside scrolling through Instagram and stuff too, and drinking, and so it's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm very much here for it. It makes that's the one thing quarantine has done. It's made everyone more relatable. Like everyone's mostly like, if you're not out on the front lines and doing things like that, which you're heroes, all of you who are doing great work, whether it's, you know, checking food at the grocery store, certainly our healthcare workers, but like the majority of folks are hanging out at home, and like everybody's pretty much doing the same thing. Like, yeah.
All brought down to similar levels, which has just never been our reality before.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, Abby, this one was specifically for you. So you just explain Leslie Jordan and why he is the breakout star of quarantine.
So for people who don't know, Leslie Jordan is an actor. He's a star of Will and Grace and American Horror Story and all of that good stuff. But recently, he's posted, like, I swear, hundreds of videos on his Instagram page of him just living life in quarantine, and they're delightful. So if anything, and you're just looking for an escape, I highly recommend just scrolling through his timeline, because they are just so joyful. The best one, in my opinion, is his stickers. He was high on half an Ambien and was showing the viewers his stickers, and it was just delightful. It was a great minute. That's pretty much all I say about that. It's just great content.
So worthy content to check out if you want to go down the quarantine rabbit hole.
And just laugh a little, smile, have a good time. Highly recommend.
Speaking of, we found out that a member of our team, one of our colleagues, John Prentice, who's a jackknife and does it all for Seattle Refined TV, is now like a TikTok star. Somebody please explain what is happening.
So John Prentice you guys have seen him if you watch the show or read any of our website articles that he's done. He kind of is, like Brandon said, a jack of all trades. He does a lot of DIY stuff. He's kind of, teaches you how to change your oil or wash your car, or he will go to a random museum and give you a tour of like the Museum of Museums or the Museum of Pinballs, or he does a lot of quirky stories. And he also is a really, really talented photographer and editor. And so I think in quarantine, we're used to only seeing his work stuff, quote unquote, that ends up on air on the website. And in quarantine, unbeknownst to the rest of the team, he started up a personal TikTok page, which of course he's allowed to do, and then has been kind of like creating videos for his personal TikTok page. And, that in and of itself isn't huge. I know I created a TikTok page during quarantine too. I think a lot of people have created TikTok quarantines. Abby did too. And so that part isn't shocking. The shocking part is that his TikTok page is incredibly successful. One of his videos of just him shaving has over 1 million views, and his profile in general, which I think only has about 9 or 10 videos, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but it's like thousands of followers.
Over 7,000.
John Prentice is blowing up essentially on TikTok. His username is Millennial Grandpa, so everyone should go give it a follow, give it a like if you have a TikTok. And we just basically hope that he remembers us, the people who helped him get where he is once he's, a star, a TikTok influencer.
I do want to say that, like, millennial grandpa, no handle has been more suited to a person than that one to John. I mean, the reason that the shaving video got so many likes is because my guy is shaving with like a straight edge single razor, which the thought of terrifies me. Like, but he probably has one of those things like where it's a blade that flicks out and he can shave perfectly like that. Like, he is a Renaissance man. Grandpa. He should have been born in the 50s.
Yep.
And
also it's Grandpa Millennial. Sorry, I just double checked. It's Grandpa Millennial, not Millennial Grandpa.
Okay, so Grandpa Millennial on TikTok, 7,500 followers, like 10 videos. My guy is going to be getting all sorts of product here. He's like 10,000 followers away from getting a lifetime supply of straight razors. All right, guys, that just about does it. We're going to end with Prentice being a TikTok star, and then we'll just see what comes in the pop culture landscape. Oh no, you know what? Before we go, anybody have any streaming recommendations? Refined recommends any streaming recs for the people.
Yes, I have one this week.
Oh, no more Vampire Diaries?
Oh, it's still happening. I took a break on Sunday. I actually binged both of the Jonas Brothers documentaries on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
I was always kind of a Jonas Brothers fan, but like it made me very much more invested in them, and it's really good. It's really cool to see. Like I love celebrity documentaries like that, just because it's, you only see like kind of this one perception of them and kind of how they're portrayed and how just the things that they do. And it's really cool to hear them kind of talk about, they talked about when they broke up, how it affected their relationship, why they got back together. And I think that in-depth look is really cool. So I highly recommend it. Even if you're not a huge Jonas Brothers fan, it's really just an interesting thing to hear about.
Wow. Good pull.
Yeah.
I recommend and no spoilers, I won't give any spoilers, but the series finale of Homeland was this last weekend.
Are you still watching?
Yes. After years and years and years, I never stopped. There was some great seasons. There were some not so great seasons. I stuck with it. That's just the kind of person I am. Commitment. And I was, again, no spoilers, but I was very happy with the way it ended. And the final episode was really great quality television that took some turns that I did not see coming, and then wrapped up the characters that I have come to know and love in ways that I thought were very true to their character. So that's my little spiel on Homeland.
Wow, and that's very, very rare with television.
Hard to do. Yeah.
Also, just impressive that you're watching still. Like, I think I lost it like 6 seasons in at some point. Great show, but there's only so many times I can watch Carrie Mathison make like a cork board with photos on it and go like a little bit crazy.
They almost lost me there in the middle, but it takes a lot for me to give up on a show once I become invested in the characters. And in this case, specifically Carrie and Saul, I very much felt connected to, and it feels like I have to watch for them because they need me, I don't want to give up on them.
I feel that.
Okay. I like that.
What about you, Brandon?
I'm going to go podcast zone here. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I could recommend some that are more sports or pop culture oriented, but I'm not. I'm going to recommend a podcast called The Hottest Take, and it's available only on Spotify. It's from my friends, or not my friends, but a podcast group I like to listen to called The Ringer. They do a ton of awesome stuff. The Hottest Take is just them defending a take that is so outlandish that it almost is like hard to defend. Like, Southwest is the best airline, and they go 15 minutes on Southwest, and it is hysterical. It is worthy. But there's all sorts of different things. Like, breakfast should be all day, not just breakfast. So they're bite-sized, like 10 to 15 minutes. I listen to a couple of them when I'm walking the dogs. I always end up laughing like an insane person, just like as I'm walking, and people are kind of looking at me like, So that's my my current
Brandon,
my current podcast.
This podcast literally sounds like something that you not only made up, but that you should also host and or be part of. Are we now going to lose you to this podcast?
Honestly,
like we're losing Prentice to TikTok?
If they asked me to host this podcast, you would lose me, because it's just like it's too far up my alley.
Even the name of it, because we always joke like with Brandon, what's your hot take?
Yeah, well, see, this is like, it's if I was giving hot takes in the office, except there's like 3 or 4 people in a room and one person is just standing up there defending said take.
So good.
Incredible.
All right. Check it out. With that, we're done. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your week. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.